In this series, I'm going to talk about some of the inner child retrieval work that I've been doing, just in case people are interested. So, in this session or situation, I want to share was I was kind of in a working at kind of like a toxic corporate environment. There's technically it was just one person that was very toxic. Like, I don't understand why they let this person talk and treat people the way that they do the whole time she was there, because she was about ready to retire as I was leaving and or as I was there. And I've never seen anyone treat people like that before or speak to people like that. And so it was very jarring, especially. I think I'm very lucky that I met her after I had done 4 years of work already. But so basically, see, in 4 years of doing inner healing work, there were still things to be learned. This is why, just like there's so much, and just let life show you where it is that the work needs to be done. It's gonna show up. So it took me 9 months to say something back to her, like so this is what I speak about when there's programs going on that were developed in your childhood that you may not even be aware of, that is affecting how you show up. And when you do the inner child work and you heal these, then it won't be as strong or as triggering each time. Anyway, I say this to share. I grew up in a family of 6 kids. My parents got divorced when I was 6 or 7, and my mom left. She kind of had been having an affair throughout the whole marriage. Anyway, I don't know why they kept having kids. They don't know if they thought it was going to fix it or whatever. I'm not sure. But she left us, and she would be in and out of our life. She'd come back and visit us. I'm sure she gave my dad money too and stuff. But um, so, like, I was just used to, like, it was 3 girls and 3 boys, and the 3 boys were very close in age. So the last 2 were twins, and then my younger brother is like 1 year older than them. So there's like basically triplets, me and then my 2 older sisters. And so just used to, like, trying to be the good girl and then trying to help take care of the brothers. Not as much as my oldest sister. Obviously, she had to do a lot more than that. She was like 12 at the time. And so my dad does have a big family, so we were split up between the families a lot during the summers because not all 6 of us going to one family is too much, like too much chaos basically. So we went to stay with families. So I went to stay with cousins that were my age. So I had a cousin group my age. I stayed with them. My sister had a cousin her age. She stayed with them. The oldest sister had a cousin her age and stayed with them. And then the younger kids stayed with like older cousins that could take care of them, could babysit them. And so I say this to preface that I'm used to not keeping the peace and not speaking up, also culturally, like you just listen to your adults, your elders, and you don't talk back. You just let them say what they need to say. Usually, the running joke in the family is that just let dad say what he needs to say so that we can eat and we can enjoy the festivities. And don't talk back, because if you talk back, it's gonna take longer. He doesn't listen anyway. So yeah, like that whole programming of like, hey, be a good girl, listen, don't talk back, and other people get to take space because they're younger kids, so they matter more. So they get to take up the space with their emotions and tantrums and stuff like that. Because 6 and 7, you're kind of in between the age. You're almost 9, 10, where you're not a kid anymore, but you're not a teen and you're not an adult. So like you don't even quite know where you fit. So just like be quiet and be a good girl, a good kid. um, and I say that because then it's carried over into the workforce. And so like I'm just trying to be a good person. I get along with everyone all the time. Even if I don't like you, you won't really know I don't like you because I just keep it very professional at work. And so if you were to ask her, she would never have known that I had any issues with her. Because she would, the time that I finally was my last straw, I was like, I just started noticing I was getting tension headaches when I had to deal with her because I was suppressing all of that energy that she was throwing at me. And also, my body was just getting tense and I was waking up. I didn't know if I want to go to work anymore. And I didn't know if I was going to get her on a good day or a bad day. And so, like, that wasn't fair to me. And I was like, I either need to address her or I need to remove myself from the situation. And I liked my job. I liked what I was doing there. So I was like, oh, I guess I have to have the conversation with her. Came home and talked to my husband. I was like, I have this headache that I know what it's from. Physically, I'm getting affected by this because I'm not dealing with it. I'm just suppressing. I'm just coming home and numbing myself with food and watching Netflix. And so he was like, well, why don't you have the conversation with her? Why don't you talk to her? And I was like, well, because that's going to make it more awkward and uncomfortable. And he's like, aren't you already uncomfortable right now? And I was like, you're right, you're right. So then that's when I decided to like have a conversation with her. So the next morning, because she wanted me to like send a report. And I was like, that's not what the email was asking because it was the upper management. And I was like, but if that's something you want me to start doing, that's fine. But I'm just saying that's not the email report that he was asking for. And she was like, yes, it is. And she just like yelled at me, exploded, and she's like, whatever, I need to get out here. And then she left because it was like almost time to clock out. So I was just like, okay, so unnecessary. Like, what the heck? I know it has nothing to do with me. It's her lack of ability to train and communicate properly. And like, she'll talk about things like she knows things, but then she has no clue what she's doing. And then she'll want you to do work and then she'll like kind of take credit for it. So I don't know. So then the next day I came in and she came over and she's like, hi, how are you today? And I was like, fine, because usually I'm very professional. Yep, good. How are you? Good. Okay, like go do your thing, let me do my thing. So I was just very yep, good, it's okay. And she's like, are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? And I was like, actually I'm not okay. I was gonna have a conversation with you today, but I guess we're doing it right now. I was gonna wait till I at least get checked in. I didn't even, y'all, I just took my coat off. I didn't even get to clock in. I didn't even turn my phone on. I didn't even check no emails. She came over right away. And so she was like, "Oh, what's wrong? Whatever." And I was like, it's not okay for you to speak to me the way that you spoke to me last night. If you're frustrated, I get that. If you have pressure from upper management, I get that. But you don't get to take it out on me. That's not fair to me." And then I started crying because y'all, I'm not used to like confrontation. So all these emotions, I wasn't crying to get sympathy, but like it was so hard to speak up for myself because I never had to do that in a corporate environment. Usually, I just get along. If there's problems, then I just don't try not to do projects with these people. So I never had to work like day to day with somebody so toxic, like on you, and just I don't even have the amount of examples I could share. So, I started crying. She's like, "Oh no, don't cry." And I was like, I'm not crying so that you feel bad for me. It's just really hard for me to express myself. But I was like, it's just not okay. You can't do that. You can't treat people that way. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I never, you're the sweetest person that I know. Like I didn't mean to speak to you that way and I don't want you to feel bad or whatever." And she's like, "Well, like, is there anything else?" And I was just like, "Yeah, the way you train, it's like so confusing. You don't tell me directly what you want me to do, and then you get frustrated with me. Like, that's not fair. I don't even know what you're asking of me. Like, you're not very clear of what you're wanting. And so that's not fair. I have some expectations I don't really know how to meet." And then so she's like, "Oh, okay. So anytime you have questions, even if it's the same question or same topic, like feel free to ask me." So after that, she was actually really nice to me. I wonder if I'm the first person who ever like stood up to her or told her that that's not okay. You can't treat people that way. And there's one time where so a part of it is like my fault because like why am I internalizing her struggles? If she's having a bad day, she's coming to me and pressuring me. I don't need to feel that pressure. I can be like, she's having an off day. That has nothing to do with me. I don't have that strong enough boundary or energetic boundary to be like, yep, that's a her problem, not a me problem. So that that's something that I didn't. I was trying. I guess it was a lesson for me to learn there, and I did eventually end up quitting. So I don't know if I actually learned that lesson. I don't know yet. But yeah, so like I had to learn to. I guess if I stay longer, I could have learned a little bit deeper into the lesson of like how do I make sure to remember it's her problem, not mine. And the way I knew that I wasn't overcoming that lesson was like I was having the tension headache because that day she was very rushing me and very mean. She wanted something done and she was very frustrated. And I was like, I know it's not me. I know it's her. I know she whatever she's telling herself in her head, she's stressing herself out. And but I couldn't help it. Carrie, very empathic also. Throw that in. And so I can like pick up on that energy very strongly. And so as she was hovering over me, as she does, she's one of those people that will come to your desk, lean over, chew and smack food and like sometimes spit on you. I can't, yeah. Um, so yeah, she was doing that. And then I was just like kind of giving her a little bit attitude back. And she's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not frustrated at you. I'm just frustrated with asking me to do. So this has nothing to do with you." And immediately when she said that, my tension headache gone, disappeared. And I knew why, because then that released the burden on me. I was like, "Oh yeah, truly it has nothing to do with me. It's actually her. She's just going through it." But I knew that. I knew that consciously. I knew that I had nothing to do with it. It's not my fault. And yet I was carrying that energy and internalizing some of it, running some programs, subconscious, very subtle energy, subtle programs that were causing this headache of, "Oh my gosh, it's my fault," or something bad about me, or like just taking her out energy, like all of these things in combination. And so that was like the biggest lesson. I was just like, holy crap, like I still have a lot of work to not internalize other people's experiences into my experience. Oh, 11 minutes in, this is actually what I wanted to share about this. um the night before I decided to confront her, I was trying to numb myself watching Netflix, and I'm trying to like replay, it's been a while. I felt like the sadness, and I was like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm, we are not doing this. I am chilling." It was a weekend too. It was Friday. I think no, was it a weekend? I can't remember, but I was chilling. I was like, "I'm watching Netflix. You don't get to show up right now. I'm in wind down time is what I call it." And so like I felt this urge of crying. I was like, "No." So then I started humming to like calm it. So I hum for like I felt like forever, 20 minutes maybe, and I was like, I pulled my head up, like, "Is it gone? Is it gone? Can I watch TV now?" And because I thought I calmed it down. I felt like it was gone, and I was like, "Yes, now I can watch TV again." And then I started bawling, like just tears falling down, crying, and I'm like, "Ah!" I have voices in my head now. I put my head down into the pillow on the ground. I was on the ground, and I'm just crying into the pillow. And I was like, "What the?" In my head, I was like, "What the heck is going on? Why am I crying?" And I was brought back to a memory. And in this memory, I was 6, 7, 8 years old maybe, and we were in my childhood kitchen, and the memory was my sister is what 84, 2 years older than me. My husband's 3 years. She's 2 years older than me, and she's a lot bigger than me. So yeah, she's always been bigger than me, and she always kind of had been bullying everybody. I'm sure she had a lot of unprocessed trauma from the divorce too and the abandonment that she didn't know how to process. So she bullied. She was mean a lot to me when we're really close now, but when we were growing up, we fought so much physically too. And so the memory was my dad put us. So the way that our house was set up, it was like a hallway, and then there was a bathroom on one side and a closet where we kept the encyclopedias. And if you continue on this hallway, then it's the kitchen all over here. So there's only one exit through the hallway there. And he was in the hallway, and he put us in the kitchen, us two, and he said, "Okay, you guys fight so much, fight to the death." Can you imagine saying that to a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old with their older sibling? Like, I didn't even grasp the seriousness of this thing. He was joking. He was obviously, as an adult, you could see he was joking. But like as a child, And so that's the memory that came up. And I ran straight to the drawer and I took out a knife and I was holding the knife in my hand to protect me because my sister is like twice my size. She could easily push me over, bang me against a wall. Who knows? I don't know. I'm 6, 7 years old. I'm scared for my life. I go and I grab a knife. And so then the way I do the inner child retrieval is me, this current version of me comes and tries to console her first. So because that's the emotion, I never, ever in any of my inner child healings have ever felt such physicalness. I was like trying to cradle her, like to hold her and console her before we even started doing any talking. She would not let go of the knife. She was holding on to that knife for dear life. Like I was like, Miss Ma'am, like let go of the knife. It's okay. I'm here. You're not in danger. Let go of the knife. And as I held her, she still held onto it so tightly. And I don't even know. Like it took so long for me to be like, you're okay. I was just holding her like you would, your child. And I was just like, it's okay. You're safe now. I'm here. Like I want to talk to you about what's going on. And so like at some point she finally, like I was saying enough things to her that she finally felt safe enough that she dropped the knife and then she just bawled. Like she was so scared. So I connect with her energy. I ask her, what's going on? What were you thinking? What kind of beliefs were you thinking in your mind? The stories are you telling in your mind? Because that's subconsciously in me as an adult coming up. Um, and so she obviously scared for her life for physical safety. I don't remember the last time I was afraid for my physical safety, and also confused why her dad would do that, and like why she would have to fend for herself. Like, isn't that what the family is for? Isn't that what the parents are for? Like, why am I doing this? Why? How is this the way you want us to resolve the problems? And just alone and abandoned. My mom's not here. My dad's making me do this. Like, what is going on? Lots of confusion, fear, unsafety, and I did do all that work to reintegrate her, like make her understand that I'm from the future and that, yes, it's valid that she felt that way, but understanding that your dad didn't have a dad to teach him. And so that's the best that he could do. Not very healthy, obviously, very harmful. But, just that perspective of like, okay, yeah, he did cause harm. It doesn't excuse it, but it explains it. Now you can understand it. That's a different perspective. So don't be so angry or afraid or of that, like that relationship, that tension, that energy. And then the same with my sister. Obviously, she's a child. She's hurt. She doesn't know how to process. So she's taking it on me and like a lot of people throughout childhood memories start coming up about how she was bullying them. So very, very interesting. And that memory had came up because I was feeling unsafe in the workplace. I was allowing this person to speak and treat me in a certain way that I wasn't protecting my energetic self. Even though I wasn't in physical harm, I wasn't safe. I wasn't feeling safe every day that I was going to work. What would that be? It wasn't like physically not safe, like emotionally not safe. I don't know. Just it was not a safe work environment for me. I didn't feel good going into work. And she also talked to the HR lady with a rudeness too. And if she could talk to the HR lady and not get in trouble, like who's gonna have my back? Anyway, whatever. I love the HR lady. She was a sweetheart. I wish she would have stayed. Well, although I didn't even work there anymore, so what does that matter? Um, so I bring that because that's connected. What was being triggered within me, the tears, was that little girl that felt unsafe, and it was bringing up the same kind of a different environment, but the same. It was a trigger coming up, resurfacing, saying that you need to address this. You need to show up differently. Like how can she feel protected if you can't even protect yourself right now? And that was just like like so eye-opening for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I was like, how is this all tied together? Why is this memory coming up now? This doesn't make sense. I'm not physically not unsafe, but it has a way of coming around. And yeah, that's the most bizarre and hard inner child retrieval I had to do on myself. And obviously, I always call in my higher self to help me if I need any guidance. Um, Sometimes I don't remember. Oh yeah. Sometimes when I do this inner child retrieval, I am retrieving a inner child piece of me back into me. And one time I saw a future me doing it to this version, doing it to this version. I was like, what the heck is going on right now? And then my higher self's like, no, 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 just focus on your version because this is me right here doing it to inner child. I'm retrieving it. But in that same vision, I saw a future me also retrieving this moment. So whatever I was doing with this inner child, there was a future one doing it to me. And I was like, wait, 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 wait. I want to know more about what's going on over here. I need to know more. And they're like, don't focus on that. You just focus on the work you're doing today. And I was like, oh, okay, so cool, but like so bizarre. So yeah, I just focused on that part. But yeah, so like seeing a chain or seeing how it connects is like so mind blowing and cool. So yeah, that's one example. There's another really big one that changed my life that really helped me look at triggers differently and to see it for what it is in my everyday life. So I'll share that in a different video.